Hi guys, how you doing? My name's Tonna. Hopefully some of you have seen the first video I did on this concept of flat flams. So you'll understood basically what the stickings are going to be and how you work out flat flams within this flam paradiddle idea that we can stretch around. So today I want to talk about how we're going to join everything up, all those different 8 stickings that you did, to take them around the kit in different styles, different tempos. So you get a lot of mileage out of this sort of concept. So you're not just thinking of it, it just works in one way and that's it. I'll never do it anywhere else. You can do it in lots of different places. So yeah, it's great. Let's get to it. Okay, so moving on from there, when you understand the basic cells of things or the basic components of things, some people's brains can just put stuff together and they realize, oh, I can do this with that and this with this. And great, if you're one of those drummers that's at that level, then good for you. And unfortunately, even those guys I see those sort of level, they kind of get to a wall every now and again because your brain can only come up with certain rhythmic ideas just because of your own education, basically, of what you've known in the past of how to put on the beat and off the beat and certain 16th note phrases together. So what I'm going to stress for you to do is to get this book. It's Gary Chester's New Breed. It's been around for a long time. I've had this over 30 years. Mine's pretty worn out and tattered. I use it a lot in teaching, things like this, as well as syncopation, you know, even talking about accents and rebounds, stick control. There's loads of these books. These are like your Bibles of drumming, and you should have these in your library. If you're not, you should get them and get a good teacher that will show you how to use this stuff, because they're not specifically style-based, they're more drum set-based. So, okay, what we're going to do with this book, we're going to go from page 18, which is going to be section 3A, it says, reading page 3A. And the stickings that you've done, they will fall into this beautifully. So you won't have to panic too much about changing things around. It will flow really nicely with this, and then you'll come up with ideas that you've never come up before rhythmically because of the reading for ideas on this book. So, okay, get hold of this book. What I will do is I will write the first bar of each one. We're only going to do the first 4 bars. I'll write the first 4 bars out on your screen, and then you can see how the sticking fits, and then we'll join them all together, and then that's it. We're going to get onto the kit, and then hopefully you'll understand the concept. Then it's just a question of putting the whole stuff together, which is your work. Okay, so let's see how that sounds. Okay, for the first bar, we're going to get this dotted 8th note rhythm that we talked about before, which we're going to use that sticking of your flam accent rhythm. So that flam, left, right, or the together idea that we talked about when we do the unison. And then on the last note, we're going to get the 4E and which is going to be your left, right, flam, also a sticking that you've done. So there's no alterations, any stickings here. So the whole thing should sound like this with the flam. So with the click and the flam and the unison. Now with the unison. So even with this, because we're going to finish it, if we did it as a bar, you would always finish it as that, because that's the ending to the beginnings. But that doesn't happen in this, not until a few lines down as well. But that idea of that together, we've also done that in some of the other rhythms as well. So that's your first bar. Okay, so second bar coming up, we've got an E count to start, which we normally did before as a right, left, right, with the flam. So right, flam, left, right. We did that as a sticking before. But we're going to change the sticking to start with the left hand instead of having that right hand to start. So it will start like this, left, both, left, right, which is the first beat. The second beat is going to be the same as you do normally for the R counts, left, right, both. The third beat is going to be on the and count. We're going to change the sticking here. Instead of being as right, both, left, we're going to start this one again with the left hand, left, right, both, left. And the fourth beat is going to be your E count, which is the same original sticking, which is going to be right, both, left, right. So the whole bar, you'll see the sticking coming up in a second, will be this. So with the click, with the flams, and then the unisons. Okay, so moving on to the third bar. The first 2 beats, they're going to be rhythms that you've already done. It's 2 cells that we've already done. 1 E and 2 E and which are always something we've done. You can check from the stickings that we've done. Hopefully you've written some of these out. And the third beat, we're going to change to the and count. We're going to change that and count. Instead of doing it as right, right, both left, we're going to change this to be left, right, both left, which is a slight alteration. And on the last beat, we got an and. We're going to stick to that normal way of doing it as well. Right, right, both left. So the whole bar slowly with the sticking coming up would be this. So with the click, flams, and then unisons. Okay, so the last bar coming up, there is no adjustment in the stickings because of all the rhythms that you've worked on. They will all fit all 4 of these beats. There's 3 actual rhythms in here, but 4 beats obviously is written down. So we've got an E, and then a 3 E and then we've got a 4 E and So the stickings that you've done before, they should all work. So the E count we're going to do is right, both, left, right, or flamming it. And the next one's the same thing, right, both, left, right. And then the 3 count we're going to do both, left, right, both. And the last beat's going to be left, right, right, both. So the whole bar together, you'll see the sticking coming up, will be this. So with the unison. But if you joined it all up, you'd have to do an adjustment when we come back to the beginning of that bar. But because it's not going to go like that, we're going to do it as an individual bar. So you'll see sometimes if you play the same bar round and round, you can treat it as a lick, but the sticking will have to slightly change because you'll end up doing too many rights, too many lefts. I suggest you write this out, even though it's written on here, and you'll see how things fit. So that whole bar with the click. 2, 3, again. So now with the unison. And you notice if you do it twice, then you have to do that last flam, last unison, and then the next one that comes afterwards, you'll have to stick another left hand at the beginning of the bar again, which is not going to work if you start with that way. So once you see things written down and we'll join them all up, it will start making some sense. So it's just understanding the concept. So slight alterations every now and again, but when you start playing, you'll start seeing, oh, there's too many rights, too many lefts here as well, whichever way you're going to work it out. Okay, so the whole 4 bars is going to sound like this. Again. So we got that double again. Then we come from the end to the beginning again. So, but hopefully this will just carry on when you're reading all this. So from now, hopefully you've worked that out, all these 4 bars. Get to the kit. I'm going to just play these 4 bars as an example on the kit in different styles, and then we'll talk about how we're going to orchestrate it around the drum kit as well. Okay, let's see how this sounds. Okay, so the first setting we're going to put this into, nice simple, we'll do like a rock funk groove for 4 bars, then we'll play the first 4 bars of the reading page, and then we'll orchestrate around the drums. You'll start noticing as you start playing it that when your right hand has to play any of the accents, it's got to play that double, that split from right to right, or whichever drum surface you're going to get to. So it's pushing away from your body, right, right. And when you do your left hand accents, which is the real hard ones, you're going to have to go from away towards you. So you're going to go from there to here. Right hand will be from towards you, from here to there. Left hand will be from away towards you. So it's the opposite each time. This is quite tricky when it gets faster. So we'll do it nice and simple to start with, just accents on the floor tom. Then we'll start using some of the ride cymbal with the accents, with the bass drum. And then we'll start using all the cymbals. See what you think of this one, see how this sounds. 2, 3. same thing again, same formula pretty much all the time. 4 bars time, 4 bars solo. We're going to do it in a fast jazz setting, so it's straight eighths on the ride cymbal, but quite up tempo. So the phrases, even though they're written as 16th notes, we'll be thinking of them as 8th notes because of the tempo that we're going to be playing at. So your 1-E-enders will be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. This is quite a nice one to do, but it's pretty tricky because it's quite fast when we get the movements up as well. So again, same thing, nice and simple with the cymbal, and then some of them are going to be around the kit as well. So see what you think of this one. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Next one up we're going to do is a bossa nova, quite a fast bossa nova. Instead of doing it the standard way of hi-hat and cross stick, we're going to take the right hand off the hi-hat and put it onto the snare and play the cross stick as usual. Some of the figures are going to sound quite different because your left hand is going to start coming out now with the cross sticks, because you've got 2 sound surfaces working. You've got your cross stick and then you've got your snare drum with the accents as well. This is quite a nice effect because your left hand starts playing rhythms that it doesn't normally play, so you're getting lots of doubles every time we do an accent. And some of them are going to be with the floor tom, with the right hand slipping over here, and then we'll take some of the right hands around the drum as well to give us a bit more of a sort of batucada feel. This is quite a nice sound as well because you're utilising your toms, getting a bit more sort of melodic phrases in your ideas and your time playing as well. So see what you think of this one. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so the next one's coming up. We're going to do it in a slow swing, slow medium swing tempo. So obviously we're playing triplets in your time playing, but then the figures are going to be played in 16th notes, so it'll sound like double time on top of it. This sounds quite aggressive, quite obtuse to what's actually going on when you're playing straight, swing, because of the nature of throwing in these 16th notes. So some of them are going to be with the cymbal with the bass drum to keep it quite heavy. Some of them will be with cymbal without the bass drum, and then we'll also get some of them on the drums as well. Okay, see what you think of this one. 2, 1, 2, 3. next one coming up, we've got another Brazilian feel. We're just going to use this as a kind of like a batucada feel. So we're just going to play on the snare and the floor tom as the basic groove, and then from there we're going to start adding these ideas we've been doing before. So 4 bars time, 4 bar solo. There's something different going on with this one as well. So all the left hands that are the single notes, you're going to start hearing some drags inside the notes as well. So this gets a lot more of that feel, which is a really nice Brazilian feel. So we'll do some of those accents on the floor tom as well. Sometimes they'll be on the left hand on the first tom as well, and then that will also be dragged with the single notes as well. So you'll hear that coming out. This is a great feel. I really like this feel because it feels really messy, but it's still where it's supposed to be, still in time as well. So see what you think of this one? Great, okay. Coming up, we're going to do a fast samba this time between the cymbal and the snare. Use your typical ostinato bass drum as well, hi-hat on the offbeat. So this one, a lot of guys tend to go ching, cha-ching, cha-ching, and then do their comping with the left hand. But using this kind of sticking concept, it means that your cymbals and snares are never sounding the same. So it's much more of a fluid, a looser feel within what's going on. So you're not just like a regular sound here. And plus you're getting these unison notes as well. Some of them will be between the cymbal and the snare. Then I'll do some between the bell and the snare. And then also we'll do some with the cymbal crashes as well to give it a bit more of an explosive feel as well. So it'll sound quite big as well when we get to that point. Okay, see what we think of this one. 1, 2, 3. Okay, that's your lot, for the moment anyway. So we've just done 4 bars, and you can see how the 4 bars sound different in every setting that we do it in. So even if you're playing it in swing and you do the same thing when you do a rock groove, you know, not many people are going to notice that's the same idea, but it's because of what's happened beforehand as well. So it's a good concept to help you to thicken up some of the sounds that you want, getting this unison note that is what that you're trying to get with the snares and the toms at the same time. Putting the bass drum as well, then you're getting 3 hits at the same time. It's quite a thick sound, it's quite an aggressive sound as well. So if you get on with the first 4 bars and it makes sense, then go for it. You know, do the whole 32 bars. Then you got the second page of that, you got reading page 3B, and then before that you also got reading page 2A and 2B as well. The accents are further away, so that means you'll end up doing more singles before you actually hit the unison figure. But as you do it, you'll start figuring out, hopefully, how things are going to sort of fit in your hands as well. This is not an overnight thing, like I said to you before, and it's not a lick-based idea, as I keep sort of stressing all the time. So it's something that you have to work on, and it will help you in lots of styles, and it will be something that you can use throughout your playing, really. So good luck with this, and hopefully I see some guys out there playing something slightly different than the usual licks that most of us are hearing. Okay, good luck.